More shots fired by Marinakis and Nottingham Forest as the club makes a huge U-turn. And so do I. Welcome to your latest Forest news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to your latest Forest news. And I feel energized. I feel like yesterday's gore just got a lot out. It was actually, even if I do say so myself, I mean, our content's crap, I know, but that one wasn't too bad yesterday. So if you haven't checked it out, go do so after this video. And please don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV. And if you think the Premier League is corrupt, let us know by putting corrupt in the comments. Okay, what's coming up today for you guys? So, we're going to talk you through the sequence of events so far, where everything is and where everything is potentially leading to. We'll talk about the U-turn that Forest have done and myself. We're turning into Usher Man. What a song that was. Going back to the early 2000s. Put your hands down and bend your knees. Bounce around in a circle, get down with me. Come on, come on. It's not hard to learn. It's called the U-turn. Right, no, you guys are going to stop watching. Anyway, okay, so let's kick this one off, right? I want to start with the sequence of events to catch everyone up and talk about the tones and things that have changed. But just before I do, let me tell you my stance, right? When that tweet came out, we were live. I was reading through it, pissed off at the result, and just thought this isn't befitting of the club. And then it's like you read it and you think, I actually agree with everything. So how can I say it's not befitting of the club when I agree with what the club is saying? And then you kind of just think to yourself, the amount we've been screwed over by this corrupt Premier League with the PSR, with the decisions on the pitch and everything. Look, if we're going down, let's pull the pins out of every grenade and launch them and see what it hits on the way down. So I'm going all Rebel City, Nottingham style on this one. But I think everyone is right in the opinion they hold. And if people change their opinion on this one, let's see what happens. Who knows? Could this be that moment where things get changed? I doubt it. I doubt it, especially after the tweets that have come out. So the first tweet to catch you guys up on, obviously we know about the hand grenade tweet to start with, but Forest brought this next tweet out and it said, Nottingham Forest today has submitted a formal request to the PGLOL, they didn't say that, I said that, to release into the public domain the audio recordings between officials during yesterday's match against Everton at Goodison Park. The club has requested this be shared for 3 key match incidents, and then they go through all 3, we all know them by now. We firmly advocate for the broader football community and supporters to have access to the audio and transcript for full transparency, ensuring the integrity of our sport is upheld. So this was a smarter tweet. I'm not saying the one before wasn't smart. I'm just saying, okay, this is more a politically correct tweet. And what Forest have done here, I think is tactically quite smart, because a lot of people were coming out in support of Forest. A lot of people are, it's a bit like I was saying off air to the boys yesterday, or maybe I said it on stream, I can't remember. It's a bit like when you got a mate in school and they turn to you and they say, can I have that guy? Do you reckon I could take him in a fight? And you always say, of course you can, mate. Of course you can. You've been working out. And they go in and they probably get punched up and you're like, well, sorry, my bad, I was wrong. And that's what I feel like the rest of the football community in general has done with Forest. Everyone agrees with what Forest said. Not everyone agrees with how it was put. But what you're probably seeing from the other fan bases, if you're from another fan base, let me know if I'm anywhere near the mark here, is they're saying you can have them, you can have them. You are now going to be the litmus test. You're going to go in and see what you can do. Can you change anything, or are you going to get beaten up? It's not going to affect our club, but we're with you if you make it to the end. So that's the kind of feeling. But then when Forest here have said, the advocate for the broader football community and supporters, that's what they're doing here. They're trying to rope in everyone to get all the other fan bases on side. So that one makes sense to me. Then they released a lengthy one, a second one here, where they said, following yesterday's match at Everton, Forest issued a statement, yada, 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 yada. We know what that is. This was an issue we raised with PGLOL prior to the fixture because of the fear of the side shown that we would ensure if anything went wrong with the officiating in the game. That fear has materialized as the correctness of 3 important decisions against the club have been called into doubt. This is not about individuals, but rather how the integrity of the game is seen. We know match officials do not allow outside factors to influence their decision making, and that all referees are required to declare their allegiances, in quotes, to the PGLOL. Again, my word's not theirs, the PGLOL bit. To avoid any perceived conflict or harm to the game's reputation or integrity. However, it is clear the PGLOL must amend its rules on allegiances to accounts for contextual rivalries in the league table, not just local rivalries. This is currently not within the criteria, but should be. More reliance on match officials to rescue themselves if contextual rivalries exist invite conjecture, as some have rescued themselves where others have not. NFFC stands by its request for greater transparency around the PGLOL appointment to further protect the game's reputation as intended in PGLOL's existing approach to allegations. It's a long one, given the widespread and ongoing concerns, not merely of the fans, players and managers of the club, but of many others and pundits too. Our VAR decisions throughout the season, any move which boosts confidence in the system should be properly considered. Okay, key points in there. There's a lot of like political waffle in there as well. But the one I want to bring to your attention is the line where they said this is not about individuals, but rather how the integrity of the game is. We know match officials do not allow outside factors to influence their decision. And this is where I'm saying where the first tweet on the first day was the wrong tone, because they were basically saying that Stuart I forgot his name, Stuart Twatwell is a Luton fan and he is biased. And they should leave that to us, right? The fans, the influencers, everything like that. We can say that and get away with it because we're just fans giving an opinion, yeah? They can't say that as an institute. So this is almost a retraction of what they said and going back on it just to basically say, we never really meant that. So it's the right thing to do. They have no choice but to do that one because there was a big media onslaught on Forest about it. Now, I'll still say it. He's goddamn corrupt. He's a Luton fan through and through. What is he doing there? And the key thing here is that if you look at it objectively, that what people come out and said, like Gary Neville and Carragher and all the usual cronies, is that how can you call these players' integrity into question? I mean, I think that's a stupid thing to say. Forget if you were going to manage, if you were going to ref Forest, if you were a Forest fan or whatever. The point is, if you're not going to call their integrity into question, why is one of the things that has to be kind of clarified when you become part of these cronies in the PGLOL is the team you support? Because if they have full, clear, unbiased integrity, then why do they need to do that? Because if the integrity is there, then it doesn't matter if, I don't know, they're a Liverpool fan and Liverpool are playing Everton, they should be able to call it down the middle. So that in itself is a contradiction. And what Forest is saying is actually correct, because there is no requirement for them to recuse themselves from a positionally local rival. Like Luton, for example. We're not rivals with them geographically, by history, by anything. It just so happens that we've messed up this season and they're being plucky, as everyone says. So we have a table rivalry with them. And if the PGLOL do feel the need that they have to get these referees to announce the team they support, then clearly just by that fact alone, they are worried about biasy. And therefore, they may as well extend the rules fully and cover what Forest is saying. So I'm with that. But then the shots were fired back from the FA, not the PGLOL. The first firing back statement was, "We have formally requested observations from Nottingham Forest on Nuno Santo, Nico Williams and Mark Clattenburg as a result of their comments following their Premier League match against Everton on Sunday, the 21st of April. Will be providing any further updates in due course." Okay, so this is the FA being the FA. This is the FA being dictators. So what they're saying here, and this, I'm fully against this, by the way. Look, unless a manager comes out and basically says something racist or religionist or whatever the taboo, not allowed subjects to talk about, why can they not talk about the match? If they can't talk about what they think about a referee, then stop interviewing players and managers after the game. What's the point? Because when I hear a manager, and it's like when I do a video or give someone my opinion on this channel, I like to give it honestly. If you agree or disagree, you know, it's up to the viewer. But when a manager now and players now, and this isn't just about Forest, this is across the Premier League, have to be PC about what they're saying because they're going to get fined, then what's the point in interviewing them? And the FA coming out are basically saying, to me, that statement reads as saying, you either say what we say, want you to say, or allow you to say, or you don't talk at all. That's not the society we live in. So I'm fully against what the FA are saying, but it's standard practice. They always do it. You know, if they accuse a referee of using the wrong deodorant, you know, he's used Lynx Africa instead of Sure 48-hour protection, you know, they'll fine them for that. It's just pathetic. And then the Premier League on communications came out and said the Premier League was extremely disappointed to read the comments made by Nottingham Forest on social media yesterday, as in the day before, following its match to Everton. We note the FA has confirmed it will be investigating the club's statement. It is never appropriate to improperly question the integrity of match officials and the nature of the comments. The comments mean the Premier League will also have to investigate the matter in relation to the league's rules. So there was a couple of league rules broken, basically sub rules, something or other. You can't bring the integrity of a team, an official, a linesman, whatever into question at all. Again, dictatorship. And this was a response to the big tweet that Forest put out where they retracted or redacted their comments about the integrity of Stuart Twatwell. So Forest are going to be in trouble. There's no two ways about it. But the question is, how much trouble are they going to be in? Do the Premier League have the power to deduct points? Do they have the power to automatically relegate Forest or things like that? Well, this is a complete unknown because this is a trend-setting moment from Nottingham Forest. There have not been many teams that have come out this strongly and criticised the integrity of officials. We saw Liverpool doing it, but talking about, you know, their options rather than the integrity of the officials against their game at Spurs. There's been one or two other incidents as well this season in the Premier League. So, where do we go from here? Well, it's just more stuff off the pitch going off for Nottingham Forest. But I'm now behind this one. I'm like, as I said at the start, get the grenades, chuck them out, see what sticks, see what hits, and stick two fingers up at them. Because the point here is, Forest have only said what everyone is thinking. It doesn't matter what team you support. Every single fan has had some kind of injustice, be it subjective or objective, that they've felt towards their team this season. Be it a pen not given, a red card, or whatever. And any other fan watching this and being like, oh, crying more and all these weird meme things that the kids are doing now, I just say to you guys, unless you're a Big Six cartel supporting team, it's coming for you next, yeah. Maybe your club won't have the balls to say what Forest have said, but you're going to be the ones who are crying more after the match. So use Forest as your scapegoat is what I would suggest to you. Like I said, think of the analogy of the mate in the school playground going in to get a beating. And let's see if he can beat the big guy or not. You have nothing to lose. Your team won't suffer because of what Forest do. But it may gain something if Forest is successful and enough pressure can be put on the corrupt Premier League, the FA and the PGLOL. Now the PGLOL haven't made any statements. They probably won't. What needs to happen right now, before they get a chance to potentially, allegedly, get Adobe Audition opened up and start, you know, playing around with the audio files, release the damn audio files. Because that third one in particular, where the referee has gone like that in the shape of a ball, will prove or disprove corruption. And we will find out what the hell Stuart Atwell said or didn't say. His silence will be corruption in itself as well if he didn't have a look at that. This clears everything up, and then we'll see if Forest have got a case to answer for. Now, add on top of that, after Gary Neville has made his comments about Nottingham Forest and the mafia kind of base settings, there's rumours now that Forest are gonna sue Gary Neville and potentially Sky. You can't make this stuff up. But good. Make those guys who stand there spouting their crap, defending in him, or pretending to deflect away from the Glazers. Sort your own issues out in your stupid club before you start pointing the finger. Whenever you point your finger forward, there's always 3 pointing back at you, my friend. Yeah, we've seen some of your tweets. So, that could happen. I don't think it will. I think it will just be a threat. But don't forget, Neville and Carragher will be at the City Ground on Sunday. You just can't write it. You can't write it. Anyway, if anything more develops today, we'll keep you posted. But that should give you a rough understanding of the time frame. And one final thing to say, a lot of you are asking me, did Forest put a formal complaint in before the match or not? The answer to that is I still don't know. We'll ask the question of the club. If we get an answer, obviously we'll tell you. If we can't, then, you know, we'll find out with the rest of them. So, stay tuned in. We'll let you know what's going on. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Hit that like button as well, new or old. And we'll see you on the next video. If you didn't watch Grumpy Old Reds, go watch it, but make sure no kids are around. I'll leave it on the end screen for you. And thanks again to everyone who has donated to the new PC. As you can see by this jerky camera business, it's still not working, my old one. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.